how far back it goes. I think the old gal should come back. I tried to place it on the Jameson's property. I hired a good architect who has a great history of restoration of buildings. He's a green architect. And I said, Joe, see what you can do. And for a couple of weeks or a month or so, he tried to fit the Haleiwa Hotel on the Jameson's property. And the only way it would fit was to move it up on the street, right on the street, because that lot is kind of pie-shaped. I didn't want that. I will not build the Haleiwa Hotel unless she's done right. And so we moved it around. We even took it up 3 stories. The same building, but added a floor to see if that would make sense. And decided, no, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it historically. We're going to replicate it as it was. And so I said, Joe, I'll give you some freedom. As an architect, move it around and see what you can do. Well, Joe moved it off the street, and he moved it partially, about half of it, on the concept you're going to see tonight, sits on the parcel next door. That's the city parcel. And when you begin to look at it, that's where she, if you're going to build it, that's where she belongs. She belongs back off the street, and she belongs right, so you get the kind of point, sunsets, etc. It's really a beautiful concept. I didn't own the parcel next door to me. That belonged to the city and county. So I wrote them a letter, like all of you can write, a 1-paragraph letter. And I said that I'm Andy Anderson, I own parcel ABC. Would you consider selling me parcel 38, one parcel? Would you consider selling me parcel 38 next door? They came back after a couple of months and said, we might be interested. Then they came back and said, yes, we will sell that parcel to the abutting property owner. The abutting property owner next to a remnant, surplus, excess piece of government land, city or state, has a right to petition their government to sell them that parcel. And when they came back, they said, yes, we would be interested in selling that parcel. But they also had to offer it to Kamehameha School, because Kamehameha School is also an abutting property owner of these parcels.
Yes.
And so we took a look at it again, and I really didn't want the extra land. This land is 3.277 acres, the remnant parcel we're talking about. I only need about 1.2. I didn't want to buy the rest. I didn't ask for the rest. But that's the way it came to us. You buy one, you buy it all. Kamehameha School and or us. And so we decided to come to the community and show this to everybody. We began to move around the community, and anybody who would talk to us, we sat and talked and showed it. And as we met with these people, everybody had some good ideas, and we incorporated those ideas. And where we are tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is kind of like a compromise. We do not need those square foot or those lots beyond us. Our lot also was not condemned by a Hawaiian family. Our lot that we went for, lot 38, didn't belong to Kamehameha School. The lot that we asked for, lot 38, the parcel that you're going to see tonight, belonged to Island Federal and Savings and Loan, a kaput group. That was a commercial venture operation that the city condemned. When we began to look into this, we were told, and it's been so long ago, 42 years, that these parcels were a part of a golf course and a city and county master plan on the Hulu River improvements with boat slips. It was part of a master plan, and that's why these were bought. We haven't been able to detail that to a T. Mr. Cole jumped down my throat when I said that and said he was part of the master plan in 1968, and that wasn't true, Andy, but we don't know why it was bought. But we do know, ladies and gentlemen, that you will never in your lifetime see those parcels developed because they are remnants. They are on the schedule to be sold, whether I buy it or somebody else buys it, and for the city and county, and they have a process. One of the Cole brothers told me, Andy, I don't believe that somebody should sit around and say, well, you want to buy one, you want to buy 3 or 4, you want to buy 2, you want to buy 5 or 6. There is a legal process structured by law how to sell remnant, surplus, excess land. That's written in law. Andy Anderson can't do a special deal with the city and county. No matter what they say, I haven't got that reach to find a deal. There's so much transparency in government today. There's so much right for you to get documents Any document that you want, any letter that I wrote, any letter that the city and county wrote, you have a right to get. So I wouldn't be so crazy to write letters and wheel and deal when transparency is there. I have a dream. I have a concept. I want to restore and bring back the hotel. I think it could be an icon for Haleiwa. I'm going to have Joe Lancor, my architect, if I can find him, show you the renderings. He'll walk you through what we're doing, and then I think I have to answer questions and answers as we go through the evening. But,
yeah, right now I think you have about 13 minutes or 12 minutes left.
okay. Where's Joe? You want to put those up?
Oh, yes.
This project should go up. Let's get going. The docket framework. Oh, sorry.
Look that way, I guess.
No, you better
Get her over there, love in sitting or something.
I'd like to work from that site plan first. What Andy told you is exactly right. We're trying to see if we can fit it on like that. Straight in. Does that work better? Straight in. Straight in. Yeah. Okay. Well, let me do a quick thing. I've done, as an architect, about 19 buildings on the National Registry. Usually when we start off doing these things, we're working from photographs anyway, especially the interior.
Hold the mic closer.
Oh, the interiors are usually gutted anyway, so we're working from photographs. We started here. There's a tremendous reservoir of photography in this old building, and we got all of that, and we made as accurate a representation of it as we could at this conceptual stage, and that is what we've come up with. That's what the building would look like. It's an exact replica, an exact, as close as we're able to, so that you guys can. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not the deal. You guys okay? Oh, picture, photograph. The site was the problem because the Jamesons, you can't put a building this grand on a site that is buried. You can't have it just smashed against the road. So what we did, the area that you see next to Jameson's, that's all dirt now, that, and keeping all the big trees, but using that area that's dirt, is about this line on my map. This is all clear. All of that is clear. This is Jameson's. And so when you do a building like this, people use the word icon. If a building like this were to be built there, it needs to have the room around it, and it's going to affect what it's adjacent to. It's going to affect the park. Its character is going to spill over on everything. It's going to become a focal point. And so in our plan, the building is here. The walkways go around the grounds. The original Haleiwa Hotel had a bunch of bungalows around it. This is the additional, the sprinkling of bungalows around the Grand Old Hotel, and then the walkways that walk through. And we kept the cars out and away from the building. The canoes are here. This is the canoe holiday that here. And then this land is park, open to be determined. But as you're walking through here, whether that's an artist gallery, artist display, whether it's farmer's market, whatever uses the community is interested in, 2 acres of this property is available for that. It's roughly a 50-50 split, a little bit in favor of open space. But this building will impact that. This building will impact across the bridge. It'll have its character spread up and down here, and that's of great value. We have the interior stuff. The building that we're talking about is an exact replication of the old building, inside as well. The interior is the same. He's got the pictures going. Mr. Chairman, in the 3 minutes, is that everything? Does that allow any rebuttal time? Or?
It will allow them. Keep on talking. It will allow the public to then ask questions.
Great, thank you. We have that over
Roger.
The point being, for your consideration, is that there's some romance in this building, there's some romance in this project, and that the character of it is going to spread. It's going to be a lovely destination place. It's going to be a great anchor, if you will, for the Haleiwa retail district. It'll be an amazing focal point for the cultural activities of Haleiwa. If you can see this picture, this is a good one for a match with the sky. The interior, this building was done similar timing with the Hotel Del Coronado, and the millwork inside was almost identical. It's very, very similar to the Hotel Del in detail. That's pretty much what I have.
And you're actually confirming. Now, what's going to happen, I'm going to open it up for the public to comment or ask Mr. Anderson questions. Mrs. Pandui will do the timing. I will recognize each speaker. Don't just run up to the microphone. So I will recognize you. So if you want to speak, you need to hold high and wide so I can see it. In the meantime, Mr. Anderson, thank you for
My name is Peter Cole.
Peter, I just spoke. Please sit down. I will recognize you, and I will call on the
I'm
people.
sorry, but I'm going to speak right now, Chair.
No, this meeting will be over.
I'm sorry. You can bang all you want. You're going to hear from me. Now, I want it understood. That a lot of people in this community are against selling public park land. We got citizens of the North Shore and this community are not going to put up with this railroading that's going on tonight. You are abusing your power, Chair, and I think that it is high time you realize that you are working for the community, and you are not in any way going to sit there and abuse us.
You don't represent me.
You don't represent me. I don't care who I represent. I'm representing a large group. He has to say this order. What I want to know, how many people here are against having parkland? How many people are for the parkland being sold to Andy Anderson? I would say we have a majority of the community. And when you have a majority of the community speaks. How many people haven't made up their mind until they see the presentation? Yes.